Hi, MInesh Baxi here, and I have a successful entrepreneur in front of me who just came from a red carpet, what I would call welcome for a launch of a movie, and we'll talk about that as well. So, Levan, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Fantastic. I know the last time we couldn't make it because suddenly your voice gave out, so you had to obviously reschedule, and you are here now.
That was a rough week, and that shouldn't have been any time of me being on a microphone. And two, didn't want to get you sick.
Well, I agree with you, and I'm glad, but you are feeling a lot better, and you came from a great trip to California.
Yes.
So first of all, let's talk about just in general, what do people need to know about you? I know you have so many businesses and you're successful. Tell us about your business right now.
Well, it's kind of simple. I own 3 Remax brokerages and 2 mortgage brokerages. So I'm the managing broker for most of them, or at least the back end, backup when things go wrong type of guy. So I spend most of my days helping out our realtors, our loan officers on what they want to do to be successful and however I can help them. Not a typical realtor or broker. It's more just spread out, helping everybody else in my community and group of people.
Well, that's very interesting. And in your case, you just are releasing a book, right?
Yep. Every day it's like it's going to come out soon, but it is coming out soon. It's called Own Your Space, and it's a very simple book I wrote, maybe 100 pages, maybe a little bit more, on 7 simple things I do on a daily basis to be successful and things I've done to grow. So I wanted to make it short, sweet, simple for the average person to be able to pick up and get through it and not be overwhelmed by a thick book.
Very interesting. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute as well. So let's talk about Beyond the Secret movie, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people have heard of the movie called The Secret. And the predominant thought process when people watch the movie The Secret was your feelings and the focus where the feelings are create the reality.
Correct.
And the law of attraction and so on and so forth. The vibration of certain feelings creates the vibration in your environment, and hence you're attracting the things like that. But in your opinion, that is not enough, correct?
No, well, it takes action too.
It takes action too. Wow, that was interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of people who watched the movie The Secret thought there was no need for action.
Well, and I wish there wasn't myself. But that was part of it. Is I fell into that movie back when I first got into real estate, back in 2013, and it really spoke to me. So I watched it hundreds of times, made copies for my friends, bootleg copies, I don't care, right? I was burning DVDs and giving them to my friends, but I watched it like almost every day. And then I started studying the people in the film. And lo and behold, it worked, but it all started with that belief that I could do it, which, yes, you got to have the belief, but you got to do the action also. So that's part of the theme on the new Beyond the Secret. There's kind of 2 themes. One is you have to take action also. You got to first have the belief, but you got to take action. And then the second is using the law of attraction, not to just help yourself, but to help the people around you. So taking it beyond the I want a Ferrari or I want a big house to what do you want for your community, your family, your friends as well, and using that to better their lives too.
Very good. So how was your experience of going there for this launch of the movie?
It was very interesting. I had no idea what to expect. You see the red carpets on TV and it's glamorous and it's like, oh, I want to be there and do that. And, unfortunately, it wasn't like the 10-foot wide red carpet with reporters on every side, Levan, asking for my autograph and such. But it was a really great experience. There was a red carpet. There was interviews. There was a lot of great people there. I got to meet people that I looked up to for the last 13 years. For me to be on a red carpet with Joe Vitale and John Assaraf, I was just like, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
So no matter what happened, it was going to be a great experience. But it really opened my eyes up to even more potential. Because getting to meet these guys who were my mentors, even if it was just through books and videos and standing there talking to them, it was like, wait a second. I've been looking up to these guys forever, and I'm standing right here taking selfies with them. How much more can I do? So that's kind of reinvigorated me to even take the Beyond the Secret movie, to take myself even farther and be like, I got this far using these principles. Now what's next? So that's what I've really been trying to focus on the last month since we got back.
Yeah, it reminds me of a statement one of my friend Ian talks about. You know who Ian
is?
Yep,
great guy.
And when your role models become your peers, suddenly you're living life at a different level.
Yeah.
You did what it was required to get there, and I agree with that totally. So from your perspective, what is the key message, and how can people get hold of the Beyond the Secret?
It's coming out in the next couple weeks. We don't have a solid date yet.
Okay.
But the best way to get a copy of it would be to just reach out to me.
Okay.
Either, telephone's the best, call or text. My number's 248-770-1029. And anybody that's interested in this stuff, I'd happily get them a free copy, meet with them, do whatever I can to promote this message because it's made such an impact on my life. And here I am talking to you because of this. So anybody wants to know more, wants a copy, just reach out to me.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people watching and listening who will say, Levan, I'll take you up on it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I will take you up on it as well.
I hope so.
And we'll be in touch no matter what. So let's talk about a big day coming up in your life.
Okay.
Yes, you have in a couple of months, there's a big day coming up.
You're talking about my wedding, right?
Yes.
yes, absolutely. On April 24th, I'm marrying the love of my life, Erica Bogadin. So that's really what we're working on and focusing on now. And that's another dream come true. I never thought I'd meet somebody like her. And I'm 41 years old. Spent the majority of my adult lifehood like focusing on growing businesses, growing myself, preparing myself for the family life. And lo and behold, when I'm ready, or at least I feel ready, Erica showed up. So yes, April 24th, that's going to be one of the best days of my life.
Fantastic. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
I know it will be a lot of success following all these wonderful moments you've already had. It'll be a big moment, happily ever after. Let's talk about the book a little bit. What are some of the key principles that you're sharing that our viewers can learn from about Own Your Space?
Yeah, let's just talk about one. And that number one thing is reading and studying. And that's something that I got into when I first started my professional career. Actually, when I was a private chef way back before real estate, I got a book called The Magic of Thinking Big.
Yes, David Schwartz, right? From Wayne State University.
Yep, Schwartz. He's my man. I wish I knew him. But that book got me on the path of self-improvement, studying, and that really spoke to me. So if I can say one thing to anybody, it's to read. And I know a lot of people don't like to read. They say it's hard to read. They can't focus. But it's just like anything else, any other exercise, any other activity. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And what I really like about that is learning to focus and read. That translates into everything else in your life. Because you can take that focus from reading and translate it into any other activity. So when you're doing it, you're focused on it. So when I'm doing, say, bookkeeping, phone's off, I'm not doing anything but bookkeeping, and I get it done quicker and faster, more efficiently than I ever would if I was looking at text messages or responding to emails. I'm focused on it. When I'm talking to you, no phone, no distractions. I'm talking to you. I'm going to get so much more done. More things are going to be accomplished. We're going to have a better relationship because I'm focused on that. So the number one thing I'll say about my book, Own Your Space, is read the book and just take that one lesson, and it translates into all the other things. The focus, the persistent, consistent taking action. And when you have an idea about taking action, take the action. I call that inspired action.
Inspired action.
Because when you have that inspiration, you have that idea to take action, you've got that energy built up. You've got a surge of energy. And if you take action right there, you're going to get a lot farther than if you wait a week or 2 weeks or you talk yourself out of it. Because then by that time, you built up your own doubts in your head. Less energy, less chance you're going to succeed.
I totally understand and agree with you on that. And I think the general thing about human beings, especially in the culture we live today, it is easier to be reactive than to be proactive. Reading is a proactive activity instead of just zombie through watching a certain show, etc., where you are expecting things to be done to you instead of you doing things on yourself.
That's a great way to put it.
And that way you are creating that kind of whatever you call, whether it is focus, self-control, awareness, intentionality, etc., combined together creates a better space for yourself in order to get the results that
That's
you're
a
really
great way to
looking
put
for.
it.
So I think that's one of the things which I can get from that. Obviously, you didn't start out being an entrepreneur. What are some of the lessons you have learned in starting out and becoming successful as an entrepreneur that you feel, because you said about being a private chef before and obviously 3 Remax and so on and so forth?
You know, that nobody can prove it was Winston Churchill that said this, but it basically said, if you're going through hell, keep going. and I had read that or heard that somewhere along in the beginning of my real estate career, and I stuck to it. And I saw that the little steps, the little changes, the little improvements, even though things weren't going great in the moment, they were building the success for the future. So it's if you're in an entrepreneur role or you're in a career change or you're in anything you want to accomplish, stick to it.
Yes.
Because you where you're at now is based on your previous actions and your previous thoughts. Yes. Where you want to go, you got to then train your brain to do those actions and those thoughts. So when you stick to it, you'll eventually get there. Yes. And that's something I have to tell myself every day too, because some days I don't feel like I'm as productive as I want to be, or should be, or however you want to say it. But if I think about it, did I do something today that got me closer to my goal? Absolutely. So now I feel like I won that day. So it's really, if you're in that position, just stick to it. And magic really happens when you get over that hump and you look back and say, oh, it really paid off. And there's no clear path of why it paid off. It's just little, consistent, persistent steps every day towards your goal.
And what you're saying, I'd like to say, have you read the book, The Compound Effect by
Darren Hardy?
Great book.
Yeah.
And I think what really happens, and you described it so well, is you don't go through hell, you grow through hell.
Mm-hmm.
By doing that, what you just said, stick to it, actions on a consistent basis, little improvements, you just don't go through hell. Because people who think they'll go through hell don't really go through hell. They have to grow through it.
True.
And otherwise the hell will keep repeating here because you and I know life's lessons are repeated until learned. And those are very clear lessons for us.
Right.
And until we learn them, we're not going to have any change in our lives as well.
And that's the truth. Like, it's not failures, they're lessons.
They're lessons.
As long as you learn from it, it's not a failure, it's a win. You're learning something to make it easier next time.
Exactly. So what's next success for you? I mean, you have obviously accomplished quite a bit. You're here sort of inspiring a lot of people. You have a book coming out, you have a wedding and all that stuff. What's success next for you?
Good question. That's something I'm trying to figure out myself. You know, we've had great success already. But I feel like I'm at a point where there's something more out there that I'm reaching for, but I'm not sure what it is yet. Okay. I want to take my experience as an entrepreneur in building these companies and translate it into helping other people with theirs. But I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that yet.
Very interesting. And I think you'll figure that out. And again, you will learn from your own. It's like, okay, I enjoy this more. I see that I'm more valuable here. I can make a bigger impact here. And just like my podcast, I don't really know where it will lead eventually, correct? But we have started on a journey, and there is momentum which keeps building up when you keep seeking something and keep working on improving your ideas, improving your actions, and eventually you'll reach more people and create something for them as well. And I know that will happen for you as you continuously being inspired, as well as taking inspired actions to inspire other people to take inspired action as well.
Absolutely.
And that's, I think, combines all of us to get that as well. Thanks for sharing that. Any last words of thought? And obviously, how can people get hold of you?
No, just last words. If anybody wants to reach out to me, any questions, anything I can do to help, cell phone's the best, 248-770-1029. Call me, text me. I'll absolutely get back to you. But no, it's just I'm here to serve, and that's kind of my new role, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it.
Well, we have so much in common in thinking because I personally believe God created us. We are all children of God, and our only function is to serve other people.
Correct.
So which is exactly how you are living your life, and which is going to be helpful to other people, but also rewarding for yourself as
Absolutely.
well. So congratulations for all this success you had, Beyond the Secret, the movie, and also the book coming out soon, the wedding coming up soon as well. I know you got a great year coming up for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And again, look forward to continuing our conversation. So thanks for being here, Levan. I appreciate it. I hope you got some good lessons, and he has already told you can get the movie Beyond the Secret from him directly, which is 248-770-1029, and I'm sure he'll be able to help you with that. And there is obviously beyondthesecretmovie.com.
Beyondthesecretmovie.com, correct.
And they can find out more about Levan, and he owns Remax and mortgage company right here, a few branches, and you can get in touch with him. Again, if you are somebody who is hungry to get your message out, if you are humble and you're looking to be helpful, I would love to have you on the show as well. This is MInesh Baxi. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.